Senator Booker, I want to ask you about some legislation that you're behind here, co-sponsoring the Supreme Court Tenure Establishment and Retirement Modernization Act, which would spend 18 years. Justices would get an 18-year term in this new legislation. What prompted this? I suspect it's the Roe decision, but has this been in the works for some years?
Yeah, my team and I have talked a lot, and God bless Senator Schatz and our White House and Blumenthal for us joining together and saying, you know, there are calls that often fall along partisan lines to reform the Supreme Court. Here's an idea that has been coming from conservatives and conservative think tanks for a long time. Why do we have this institution where the motivation is for people to stay into their 80s or 90s, hold on as long as they can in hopes that they'll get a president of a certain party? It's the wrong kind of incentive to have jurists on the Supreme Court without having to consider what I can think of as perverse motivations. Let's create 18-year terms and stagger them so that every president that is elected by the people in a democratic fashion has a pick every other year. So if you make an 8-year presidency, hey, you're going to get 4 Supreme Court justices. That is more democratic, more fair, and could restore a lot of trust and respect and reverence for this important branch of our government, the important institution of the Supreme Court.
And Senator, as you know, Republicans are saying, well, of course they want to set term limits now because the Democrats got some decisions they didn't like. Do you suspect you'll get any Republican support for this legislation?
Well, 2 things. One, it's supported by well over 60% of the American public, right and left. Number 2, yeah, these are decisions not just that I don't like, but that are fundamentally rolling back the rights of Americans, whether it is Citizens United that has allowed ungodly amounts of money to come into our system, diluting the individual American's voice, whether it is the stripping of rights of privacy, the potential stripping of the right to marry who you want, and of course the rolling back of voting rights. So these are really big issues, and yeah, that's a motivating factor. But my job is always to try to find a way to bring people together to get things done. This is an idea, unlike ideas that seem more partisan, like adding more Supreme Court justices. This is an idea that the majority of Americans support, that has come from conservative circles, that can actually restore the court. Because what I've learned is the pendulum in this place swings back and forth. Let's find solutions that are not only going to help deal with real problems, but help to preserve the integrity of institutions or restore that integrity to the American people over time. This is one of those ideas.
Democratic Senator and former standout tight end at Northern Valley Regional High School in Old Tappan, Cory Booker of New Jersey. Senator, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
I'm so grateful for you. All the best.